Hi there, and welcome to this first video in a series of videos looking at how to set up Managebac correctly for an MYP class. Managebac can be very helpful, but there's a lot of options, and it's helpful to see someone go through the process. For this demonstration, I've set up a fake teacher named Teacher McFake. This is a completely blank teacher. There is no information about this teacher in the system yet, so you're going to see me set up units and classes and set students and information from scratch. This can help you in setting up your own classes, hopefully. The first thing I want you to notice on this page is the bottom right-hand corner where it has a quick start guide. Managebac has a lot of help. If you have issues or running into problems with Managebac, the help section should be the first place you go. They have a lot of pages that will walk you through a lot of typical problems people have with Managebac. The first thing I want to do, and what this video is about how to set up a class. Now, a lot of you may already have classes set up, and if so, you can go ahead and move to a later video, but you may want to watch this video just to see some tips about how to set up classes properly. Now, in this demonstration, we're going to pretend that Teacher McFake teaches physics to sophomores. I have two sophomore physics classes, period 1 and period 2, that we're going to be setting up today. We're going to be looking at how to add the classes, add units, add tasks, add students, and set up Managebac correctly. To add a class, I'll go to my Classes tab, and you'll notice I don't have any classes added at all, which is appropriate for my new Teacher McFake. So I want to add a new class. Now, for type of class, I do teach sophomores in my physics class, so I want to call this an IB middle years class. I don't want to call it high school or middle school. I want to make sure to use the middle years tab because Managebac will allow us to use some special middle years tools that'll enhance your teaching. Now, as far as the year, since I teach sophomores, we're going to call that year 5. The subject is probably the most important option on this whole page. This is an option that cannot be changed later. Managebac uses the subject to categorize all of your information. When you add a unit to your class, you're not adding it to your individual class, you're adding it to the subject. For example, if I left it as English, year 5, when I hit create class, I would automatically be filled with units in my class. Units of a 10th grade English teacher. You want to make sure to set this correctly. It cannot be changed later, and if you mess it up, you'll have to recreate your entire class. In this case, I'm teaching a science class and specifically physics. If you aren't sure about what option to pick, you may want to go ahead and ask some of the other teachers in your department to ask which might be the most appropriate option to pick. Now for my class name, this of course is physics, and I'm going to first create section 1. This is going to be my first period class where I'll put all my first period information. Class ID, description, announcement, and the picture are not important. We can always set those up later, so I'm going to go ahead and create this class. I now have a class in Managebac, and it gives me a lot of options of what to do. We'll tackle those later, but first I want to add my second class. Now, my two physics classes will be covering the exact same material, but I want to create two separate versions of the class. Now, I hear you saying already, oh, Mr. McFake, that's going to cause you double the work in Managebac, and it really won't. I want to show you how to deal with multiple sections at the same time. Now, if I just had one session of the sophomore physics class, I wouldn't add a section. You don't have to do that. But if I have multiple, it's very helpful. So I want to go back up to classes, click there, and add a new class. I'm going to add my second period physics class. So again, I'll select middle years program, year 5, I'm still teaching sophomores. This is still a physics class. And now we're at section 2. Now, since my two classes have the same subject, they're going to share a lot of the same information without me having to do anything. I don't have to create my units twice. They're automatically going to be shared. This is a very helpful tool in Managebac. Everything else looks good, so I will create this class. As I can see up here in the classes drop down, I now have two classes. I have Physics 2 and I have Physics 1. If I wanted to do first or second, that could be done just fine. Notice in the top left-hand corner, you can always tell which class you're working on at any one time.